Hi, so this is Matthew, and this is Paul Lamb from Starkey. So Starkey are a very well-established hearing aid brand, and they've had some incredibly famous patients over the years who you'll definitely have heard of. But we just wanted to cover for you, if you were a brand new potential hearing aid user, you were considering purchasing a private hearing aid, then how might the latest technology from this manufacturer help you? So I was just going to hand over to Paul because he's the expert in this area, and we could just sort of discuss a few areas, sort of hearing the TV better, which is quite a common complaint. Say if you're, that little bit older, hearing your grandkids, hearing in social settings, and then also if you like going to the theatre or a cinema, how you might be able to hear better with those. And also another one, phone calls. So hopefully we'll remember all these, but we're just going to go through and see how these new Omega hearing aids from Starkey might be able to help you. So over to Paul.
Thanks, Matthew. So I think what we should definitely say with new technology is it's a lot more flexible for various listening environments without being too technical or complicated.
Yeah.
They are basically a high-spec computer on your ear. So if you think about where you generally go to listen, there's always problematic situations like background noise. You might be further away from somebody.
Yeah.
Now, if you have a hearing loss, of course, that's difficult. But we want to make sure when hearing aids are fitted that we boost those sounds up correctly, but also make sure the louder sounds are comfortable. Now, this is very much down to an expert audiologist like yourself to get that right. Technology is great, but having the person fitting it correctly and spending time with people is really important.
Yeah.
So I will just add that in before we start.
Absolutely, yeah.
Hearing aids today are nice and small. I'm wearing a set right now, which you can't really see. If I just pull my ear back, you will see it just tucked behind my ear.
Yep.
So nice and invisible. Discreetly sitting on the back of your ear to pick up the sounds from the front of you and turn down the sounds from behind you. So we want to make sure hearing aids are really easy to use and they're automatic. I think private hearing aids will give you a lot more solutions in terms of the hearing aid doing its job without you making too many adjustments.
Okay, yeah.
I think the other thing that we should talk about with hearing aids today is ease of use and durability.
Yeah.
Because you think about hearing aids in your ear all day, isn't it?
Ooh, it's quite a hostile environment.
It's a hostile environment. You might be going out somewhere that's very wet or humid. Hearing aids today from Starkey are waterproof. I wouldn't suggest you go swimming with hearing aids, but all those things like going outside and it's raining and they get wet, they're fully protected. They use rechargeable batteries, so you don't even have to worry about changing a battery.
Yeah.
Our hearing aids last anything from 42 to 51 hours on one charge. So you can get through your whole day without worrying about battery running out. And then let's just talk a little bit about the technology. Today we're using artificial intelligence. It might be a new word for some people, but artificial intelligence is trying to mimic how the human hearing system and the brain works to process sounds, make them audible, and diminish down sounds you don't want to hear, like background noise.
Right.
So if you go into the restaurant with your family, you want to focus on your family around the table, but not so much the other tables behind you.
Absolutely, yeah.
And our new AI systems help you direct sounds to where you want to hear and turn the other ones down.
Excellent. So, I mean, that's covered the, as you say, simplicity of use. That's covered these more complex environments. Often, as the person listening to the patients explain the challenges they're having, TV can be an issue.
Yeah.
And a lot of patients sort of say, well, if I've got really good hearing aids, surely that's the sort of the end of it. I put my really good hearing aids in and I hear the TV perfectly. Why is that sometimes not the case? And, is it then just a case of, well, I've got to put up with, the limits of the technology, or is there something else a patient could do?
Yeah. With hearing aids today, they're wireless, which means they can pick up wireless signals, audio signals from other devices.
Okay.
I'll give you an example. Your phone, you can hear a phone call directly into your hearing aids with Starkey hearing aids. But the other one that's really nice is a TV streamer.
Right.
So you may have, you might sit further away from your television, so the sounds have to travel across the room for you to hear them. And any good hearing aid works nice and closely to sounds like 1 to 2 meters roughly.
Right.
If you're 5 meters away from your television, it's a bit more difficult.
Yeah.
So what we can do is plug in a Starkey TV streamer into the back of the television. And it can stream the audio wirelessly into your hearing aids directly.
Okay.
That overcomes the distance,
Yeah.
but it also overcomes where everyone's fighting for different volumes.
Right, right.
Someone with good hearing may want the TV lower. Someone with hearing impairment might turn it up higher.
So a common misconception then, so let me see if I've got this right. I'm now hearing the TV okay because I've plugged a special device in and it's like me wearing really good quality headphones. But what about the other people? Can they still listen to the TV? Oh, they can. They can still listen to the TV.
So the TV volume through the speakers is independent to the TV box.
Right.
So you could, if you wanted, everyone else goes to bed, you could mute the television and still stream the audio through into your hearing aids.
Well, that's great. And, you know, for someone who lives in London with a sensitive downstairs neighbour, this is actually something I do on a regular basis. So it's, something that maintains sort of harmony in the household and within the building. So, no, that's excellent. Yeah. And then what else do we say? You mentioned briefly about the sound coming in for phone calls as well, because another sort of issue I get is people will come in and say, well, I've tried an NHS aid. I wasn't sure if I should put it on the top, if I should put it on the speaker, and then sometimes it's a private conversation. I don't always want everyone listening to my conversation. Do I take the hearing aid out? And then sometimes people have taken the aid out, then they can't find the aid. What's the difference in approach between that and how you'd use a Starkey hearing aid?
Yes, the direct streaming is very easy to do, by the way. You pair up your hearing aids to your phone just like you would with a pair of headphones. Once they're paired to the phone, you can go into your phone and play music directly from that phone into your hearing aids. But let's talk about phone calls. That's the important one that a lot of people with hearing impairment struggle with.
Yeah.
A phone call can come through the ringtone into your hearing aids. You know the phone's ringing. You could answer it from the phone itself, or you could even push a button on your hearing aid to answer the call.
Well, that's handy, isn't it? So it could be in another room and you still...
Yes. So you could be at least 10 metres away from your phone.
Wow.
And you can still take the call. And the clever thing with hearing aids today, Starkey have this technology on their microphone so that your voice goes into the hearing aid mic. So it's a hands-free phone call. So you could be like 5 metres from the phone, answer the call, walk around the room, but your phone's still over there. Yeah.
I mean, I've seen it with patients where one gentleman, I think he'd suffered a war wound, so we're going back a few years, but by the time he'd gotten up and he had a 40-foot, living room, he got halfway across the room. The call had always gone. Then he's trying to work out on his answer phone, how do I figure out who called me? And then I call them back and the phone's engaged. And he just really struggled with it. Whereas this new technology, what we're saying, his phone could be the other end of the room, has the conversation. If he wants to go over and pick up the phone, he can. If he doesn't have to.
Correct.
Yeah, that's great. Easy. Yeah. And then we also touched on, lots of people, especially in London and other areas as well, they have this sort of active sort of nightlife where they might want to go and watch something at the theatre, go to the cinema. And often I'll get complaints from people say, well, it was loud, but it wasn't clear. Or I didn't get the best seats in the house. And either I've got to make sure I'm right at the front, which is very expensive. I can only do it, very infrequently. Or I get somewhere where the acoustics aren't great. And, I'm turning to people and say, what did they say? Which obviously doesn't make me very popular. So what would be the solution if it was one of these new Starkey Omega hearing aids? How would that differ?
So Starkey Omega hearing aids are equipped with one key feature. This is called low energy audio. It's a wireless technology, but it enables you to connect systems that are starting to be installed in places like theatres. And it's a wireless transmitter installed into the theatre, which wirelessly transmits sound across the whole of the room.
Wow. So it sounds like a big TV streamer in a way.
Correct.
Yeah,
so
okay.
The capabilities will see over or up to 100 metres in terms of signal push out to the hearing aids. So you could be in a very large venue and still hear it at the back of the room.
Wow.
Directly through your hearing aids.
Now, I heard you mention that sort of starting to come out, but is there a sort of like a piece of, if you like, legacy technology or older technology that's still tried and tested, used widely, that you can still access with certain models?
Yes. So with a couple of our models, our styles in Omega AI include what we call telecoil. It's a magnetic pickup coil inside the hearing aid that can pick up a magnetic field of audio. We call it telecoil or loop systems.
Oh, yeah.
And you'll see the symbols in many venues with a loop system. And you can just switch to a setting on your hearing aid and connect to that straight away.
And I actually, because although it's 1937 technology, I had one patient say to me, the telecoil, which accesses the loop, as Paul said, was like the actors walked up off the stage and spoke directly into their hearing aids, which if you consider how much extra do people pay for that feature to be added to the hearing aid?
It's included as part of the package.
It's included. So you just say, I would like a version with the telecoil, and your audiology professional orders that particular model, so you don't even pay extra for it. So it's a pretty cool feature. And you also mentioned, because some people get worried about, throwing away these tiny batteries.
Yeah.
Are they environmentally healthy? To be thrown away batteries with heavy metals in.
Yeah.
Are they going to be easy to use? Are they going to run out at a really inopportune time when it's, an important meeting or a social setting? And you said about the rechargeability. What if someone's going on a long haul flight though? Because how would that work?
No problem at all.
No?
You could literally fly around the world and still have battery left in your hearing aid.
Yeah.
So the conventional styles that we're selling at the moment have approximately 42 hours on one single charge.
Right.
So if you think about an average hearing aid use, it's 16 hours a day.
Yeah, that's a lot
So
even, yeah.
You've nearly 3 times that amount left in your hearing aid after a charge.
And did you mention there was like a sort of special upgrade version of the charger as well?
Yes, so there is what we call the premium charger.
Mm-hmm.
That contains its own battery in the case. So you could go away without plugging into the mains.
Okay, so like a camping trip or something.
Yeah, and then the battery in the box provides the power to charge the hearing aids for about 4 to 5 days.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, look, I think there are even more features, but we just thought we'd give you a quick glimpse of how this range of devices might be able to help you. And not that we're expecting anyone to fail, but a question that comes up quite regularly is, what if I try and I'm not successful? I've wasted all my money. It has to go in a drawer and, I'm no better off. I mean, what is the sort of the approach in the industry to that kind of concern? What would you guys do if Mr. or Mrs. Smith blogs, whoever, said, really sorry, I just couldn't get on with these, I don't want to go any further? What would the position be?
Yeah, so we partner very much like yourself with independent audiologists and dispensers, offering you that ability to try the hearing aid for a certain amount of time. So you working alongside with yourself, Matthew, could give you plenty of weeks to try new technology, persevere and get it fine-tuned. It will take a little bit of time to get used to new sounds that you've been missing for a number of years. If the outcome is you don't like it, we do offer things like credit return periods.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, I mean, if it all goes horribly wrong, which we hope it wouldn't, then you've got the facility to get your money back. So, really, the only thing you're sacrificing is some time. And obviously, we're all working on a joint goal. And Starkey have recently even introduced a new demonstration version, which allows you to try each tier of technology. So, if you felt, well, I love the sound of this new model, but I'm probably, in the area where I could afford the more budget-orientated version, you're able to try it before you sort of commit your money. And even once you've committed your money, there's the money-back guarantee. So you might find as well with your audiology practitioner, they may be willing to come to your home if you need any assistance with setting up devices. And there's even, because we know these perform fantastically well in noise, there are even additional accessories like a microphone that you could use on a table or clip to a conversation partner or minister, presentation person, and they will enhance the hearing aids even more. So we're not going to go too much into it now, but what we would say is if you're thinking of a hearing aid, certainly this should be on your short list, and I would say give them a try. You're probably not going to be disappointed, and I think Paul would also agree.
Totally.
Okay, well, thank you very much for that. That's been very useful. And let us know. Have you tried the new Omega? Is it something you're considering? And do these sort of issues with hearing, do they sound like the sort of issues that you've been experiencing?